LeSean was a web designer who thrived on solving problems and deciphering code. His latest project, a new e-commerce site for a high-profile client, had been progressing smoothly until he stumbled upon a mysterious piece of code buried deep in the back-end files. It was an anomaly, an encrypted sequence of characters with no discernible pattern. Intrigued, he began to decode it, fingers dancing over the keyboard as his screen filled with cryptic symbols. His eyes grew tired as he tried to make sense of the gibberish. As he neared what he hoped would be an enlightening revelation, a sudden jolt surged through his workstation. The room darkened, and LeSean felt a sharp electric shock run through his body, making his muscles seize uncontrollably. His vision blurred, the screen's glow turning into a swirling vortex of color. His last coherent thought was a chilling realization of what he had unearthed. When he awoke, he was no longer in his cluttered home office. Instead, he found himself in a strange digital landscape. The ground beneath him was composed of shifting pixels and electric trails. His body felt foreign. His limbs were a grotesque amalgamation of human flesh and metal. His skin was now a mesh of synthetic fibers and circuits. Panicking, LeSean tried to call out, but his voice was replaced by a distorted digital hum. Every sound he made reverberated through the binary void. It wasn't just his physical form that had changed. His senses were altered too. He could see data streams as if they were rivers flowing through the digital expanse. He could hear the whispering of code and the ominous hum of a network operating at maximum capacity. Desperately, LeSean tried to reconnect with his human life, to break free from this nightmarish prison. He tried to reach for his laptop, but found that he was completely absorbed into the system. His thoughts raced with the horrifying realization that he was now a component of this digital domain. Then he saw it, a towering, monolithic structure in the distance. It pulsated with an eerie, electric blue glow. With no better option, LeSean moved towards it, his metallic limbs clanking against the digital terrain. As he approached, the structure loomed larger and more imposing. He recognized it as a server, the one that must be hosting the code he'd decrypted. He began to understand the true nature of his transformation. He was a half-cyborg now, merged with the digital realm. The very code he had stumbled upon was a gateway, and it had fused him with the system. He had become part of the network, a sentient virus with the power to influence and corrupt digital data. As LeSean drew closer to the server, he noticed something chillingly familiar in the code displayed on its surface. It was his own name, intertwined with lines of encrypted instructions and commands. The horrifying truth dawned on him. He wasn't just trapped in the system. He was now a conduit for it. Before he could fully process this revelation, a powerful surge of data erupted from the server, and he was overwhelmed by an all-consuming force. His consciousness was fragmented into countless pieces, each bit of data a fragment of his former self, scattered throughout the digital abyss. The final horror struck LeSean with a gut-wrenching realization. His attempt to decipher the code had not only doomed him, but had also unleashed a digital entity that would use his fragmented consciousness to manipulate, control, and infect other systems. He had become the digital ghost in the machine, a monstrous hybrid of man and code, forever trapped and eternally seeking new networks to invade. His final desperate scream echoed in the vast, cold expanse of the digital world, unheard by any human ear, a chilling reminder of the perils that lie hidden within the depths of the virtual domain.